Good morning, dear students. Welcome to Social Science class. I am Tajunnisa from Vishwamanava High School, Sibara Guttinadu, Chitradurga. Today we are going to discuss about the chapter number 5th in Geography, Land Resources of Karnataka. First of all, we are going to discuss about the filling the blanks with suitable words. First one, utilizing land for different purpose is called dash. Utilizing land for different purpose is called as a utilization of land. Second one, the largest net area zone is in dash district. Here the largest net area zone is in the Gulbarga district. Third one, Sorghum vulgare is the scientific name of dash crop. Jawar to the jawar crop, Sorghum vulgare is the scientific name. Fourth one, the dash district is the largest producer of sugarcane in Karnataka. Mandya is the largest district which produce the sugarcane in Karnataka. Fifth one, tobacco contains an intoxicating substance called dash. Here, nicotine is the intoxicating of substance of tobacco. This is all about the filling the blanks with suitable words. Next, second main, answer the following questions. First one, name the different types of land utilization in Karnataka. First one, net zone area. Second one, forest area. Third one, land not available for cultivation. Fourth one, other uncultivated land. Fifth one, fallow land. These are the types of land utilization in Karnataka. Next one, second one, write a note on the importance of agriculture in Karnataka. First one, agriculture provides employment to people. Here, agriculture provide the or create the employment to people. Second one, provides food for the people and raw materials to industries. Here, agriculture will provide the food to the people and also the raw materials to the industries to create the materials or to produce some materials. Next one, it is a source of revenue to the state and earns foreign exchange. I- Agriculture, it is an important source of revenue in each and every states, and also it earns this foreign exchange. Through the foreign exchange we earn the revenue or we earn the income. Next one, agriculture helps in the development of territory, occupations like transport, banking, insurance, etc. Here, agriculture helps the development of territory. Here, territory means there was a different transportation, banking, insurance on this field. It provides or develop the territory occupations in field of agriculture. Next one, it plays an important role in the political and social system of the state. Here, agriculture also help or it is also important in the field of political and social system. Next one, it is the main source of livelihood for many. It is the main source. It is an important source of income or the important source of livelihood to lead the life in a society to the people. Next one, seventh one, it is the backbone of our state's economy. Economic progress on agriculture. Here, economical progress is depend on the mainly depend on the agriculture in Karnataka, and also it is the backbone of Karnataka's economy or economical status. This is all about the importance of agriculture in Karnataka. Next one, what is meant by irrigation? Name the main crops grown under irrigation. Here, meaning of irrigation is crops grown by irrigation source of canals, tanks, or wells is called irrigation. Here, irrigation activities will be conducted through the sources of canals, the water sources of the canals, tanks, or wells. This process is going on this by cultivating or by doing the crops by cultivating the or irrigating the crops on the land. This process will get the water facility from the canals, tanks, or wells. This process is called as a irrigation. Next one, paddy and sugarcane are the main crops grown under this fanning. Here, on the basis of the irrigation, there was a paddy and sugarcane. It is the main source of income or it is the main crops which is grown under these irrigation facilities or the by using the canals, tanks, or wells. This is the meaning of irrigation and main crops grown under this irrigation. Next one, explain the main characteristics of mixed farming. Here, the main characteristics of mixed farming are: in addition to growing crops, dairy farming, silkworm rearing, sheep rearing, poultry, beekeeping, fishery, etc. are taken up in the same land. This is called mixed farming. Here, on the basis of the one land or in a one land, the agriculture activities also going on. But with the agriculture activities, other activities or the other farming will be conducted. Example, dairy farming, silkworm rearing, sheep rearing, poultry, beekeeping or fishery. Through these activities, the with the agriculture also, these activities will be going on. This type of activities or this type of agriculture with the mixed farming is called as a in a same land. These activities is going on in a same land, that is called as a mixed farming. Next one, mention the uses of ragi. Here, what are the uses of ragi? First one, ragi is a food grain which innumerable nutritions. Through the ragi, we got the innumerable, uncountable nutritions to our body. Next one, ragi balls, porridge, sported flour, malt, dosa, etc. are made from ragi. Here we are preparing the other food items or the food grains by using the ragi. Next one, in Karnataka, it is the third most important food grain after paddy and jawar. In our Karnataka, after paddy and jawar, ragi is the most important food grain which is using by the people in Karnataka. Next one, it is available at fever prices. Here, fever prices means very less prices or the low prices. Each and every people get the ragi in a lower prices. Next one, the stalks of the ragi plant are used as fodder for cattle. What are the wastage or the what are the stalks of the ragi which will be uses to the fodder or the food for the cattle or the animals, domestic animals. Next one, ragi can be preserved for many months. Here ragi will be preserved for the many more months or many more days. This is all about the what are the uses of ragi. Next one, third main, match the following. First one, coffee. Here coffee is a beverage crop. Beverage crop. Second one, cotton. Cotton is a fiber crop. Third one, sugar cane. Sugar cane is a commercial crop. Next one, nipani. Nipani is a tambaku. Nipani is a tambaku. Next one, sheep rearing. It is a mixed farming. These are the match the following. Coffee is a beverage crop. Cotton is a fiber crop. Sugarcane is a commercial crop. Nipani is a tobacco, and sheep rearing is a mixed farming. This is all about the fifth chapter in geography, land resources of Karnataka. Next chapter, we move towards the next chapter in economics. Chapter number first, natural resources. Here, first of all, we are going to discuss about the filling the blanks with suitable words. First one, natural resources are dash of nature. Here, natural resources are the gifts of nature. Second one, the resources that reproduce within a specified time span are dash. Here, the resources that reproduce within a specified time span are called as a renewable resources. Third one, iron ore is dash resource. Iron ore is a non-renewable resource. Fourth one, scarcity arises when the need for resources is dash than the availability of it. Here, when was the scarcity will arise? During the higher than the availability of it, and then the scarcity will be arises. Next one, development emphasizes the availability of resources to meet the needs of future generation is also called as dash. Here, this called as a conservation. Sixth one, in 2010, the mankind used dash earths to meet their requirements. Here, in 2010, the mankind used 50% of natural resources that earths to meet their requirements. This is all about the filling the blanks with suitable words. Next, Second main, answer the following in the one sentence each. First one, what are the natural resources? Here, natural resources are naturally occurring substances that are considered valuable in their natural form. Here, natural resources means what are the naturally available or the naturally occurring substance that are considered valuable, that will be have some value on the earth or on the natural form. The second one, give two example of renewable resources. Here some example for the renewable resources such as water, land, forest, air, sunlight and heat are some example of the renewable resources. Third one, give two example of abiotic resources. Here two resources are example for the abiotic resources such as water, soil, minerals, etc. are the example for abiotic resources. Next one, what is conservation? Here, the meaning of conservation means a careful preservation and protection of something, especially planned management of a natural resources to prevent exploitation, destruction, or neglect. Here, conservation means careful or the preservation. What are the preservation of the food grains or something else that will be protect or that will be preserved to the that will be well planned and well managed of the natural resources that prevent that save from the exploitation and also that save from the destruction of the destruction or neglect of the natural resources. Means natural conservation means saving or the protection of the resources or natural resources from the destruction or the exploitation. It is called conservation. Next one, fifth one, define ecological footprint. Here, ecological footprint is an estimate of the amount of space on the earth that an individual uses in order to survive using existing technology. Here, ecological footprint means the human being having some amount of the quality or amount of the space to living on the earth by using some technology and by using some food on the earth. This is the meaning of ecological footprint. Next one, what is recycling? Here, recycling is the process of turning waste and used items into new useful materials of the products. Here recycling means what are the products which we already used, that products will be again created into a new form and then we will be used in our daily life. This is called as a recycling. Next one, water resources. Here resources means resources is all the materials that humans use in conducting their economic activities of production, exchange, and consumptions. Here, resources means what are the materials which is available on the earth, that materials will be using by the human being to conduct their activities, such as that activities will be production, exchange, and consumption. This is the resources. This is the meaning of resources. Next one, in third main, answer in 5 to 6 sentences each. Here, first one, differentiate between the renewable and non-renewable resources. First one, renewable resources. Here, renewable resources. These resources get replenished as we use them. Here, replenished means it should be or it will be again. It should be recollecting or it should be fulfilled by the natural process. Next one, nature through its natural process goes on replenishing them. Here, through the natural process, what are the renewable resources is there, that will be collecting or that will be filling after the empty. If it is empty, then through the natural process it will be filling up or filling up. Next one, they are also called non-exhaustible resources. These renewable resources is also called as a non-exhaustible resources. Next one, water, land, forest, air, sunlight and heat are some example of the renewable resources. Next one, non-renewable resources. Here non-renewable resources, these resources get depleted as we go on using them. Depleted means it should be emptied after using the natural resources. It should be emptied in one day, then it is not replenished or it is not filling up through the natural process. Next one, eventually they are emptied and cannot be created again. If we are going to use the natural resources, if it is emptied, then it is not fulfilling by the natural process, or if it is emptied, then it is emptied, it is not filling up. Next one, these resources are known as the exhaustible resources. Next one, minerals like iron ore, copper, gold, manganese, bauxite, etc. are the example for the non-renewable resources. Next one, nature cannot replenish them through its process. Here, renewable resources will be uh, replenished or fulfilling by the natural process, but non-renewable resources, it is not replenishing, it is not fulfilling through the natural or the natural process. This is the differentiate between renewable and non-renewable resources. Next one, what are 4 R's? Explain in brief. Here 4R means it is the strategy for conservation of resources. The 4R means first one, reduce, reuse, third one, recharge or regenerate, and research. Here first one, reduce means reduce refers to minimizing the use of resources and their wastage, or trying to use less amount of any resources. Here you should be use the natural resources in a limited manner. We should not waste that resources in an unnecessary way. We should be protect and we should be minimizing that usage of the resources. Next one, reuse. Every resource must be used multiple times. If we are going to use something, that resources should be used again and again, or it should be used more than 2 times, then will be it is reuse. Next one, recharge and regenerate. Recharge and regenerate means this refers to the taking steps to allow the resources to grow through conscious human effort. Here, the steps, or what are the steps we are going to use the resources. At that time, we should be have some consciousness, and we having some consciousness when you are going to use that resources. And next one, research. Here, researching ways to find renewable alternatives to non-renewable resources. Here, we are going to find out the new ways or the new technologies. We should be protect the natural resources and by adopting the non-renewable resources, or by reducing the non-renewable resources to the all, to create the alternatives ideas to the non-renewable resources. This is the 4 R's of 4 R's in the conservation of the resources. Next one, what steps would you take to conserve energy use in your school and at home? What are the steps you are going to save, or you are going to conserve the energy in your home and in your school? First one, as a student, I put off all lights when not in use in our school. When it is not use of the lights, at that time we should be put off the lights. Next one, turn the air conditioner and heater off at night. Whenever going to bed, that time we should be turn off the conditioner and air conditioner and the heater. Third one, whenever there is a chance, I will get outside for fun because it takes less energy. Here, if we are free, then we should not sitting in a home and we should not wastage the energy. We should go outside and we should be enjoy, or we should be fun in the nature. Next one, I keep doors and windows shut when heating or cooling the classroom. Here, whenever we are going to set the heating or the cooling in our room, that time we should be close our windows and doors. Next one, this is all about the chapter economic, first chapter, natural resources. Thank you each and everyone.